here we go. It's another edition of the Babz Bye Week Rewind. It's week 2 now. Patriots in Jacksonville. And this might be probably going to be one of my most favorite little video podcasts, rewinds that I'm going to end up doing. There's a lot to go over this week. A lot of things happened. Some great funny stories. So buckle in. This could be a long one. Buckle in. Get ready. Let's go through it. So first off, this actually dates back to last January for the AFC Title Game when I was in the young Gronk days. And I used Jacksonville as actually one of my first real times where I've gone out on Instagram, made videos, tried to make fun of other teams, do something a little bit different. And this is where I burned the Fournette jersey, get people riled up. So throughout that week, it was something that had me going towards the Super Bowl. So this game to me was pretty big because I already knew right away, all right, let's go Jacksonville. This is a rematch. This will be fun. Let's see what happens. We all know what ends up happening in the AFC Title Game. Stephon Gilmore with that little whoop, blocking him out of here. But before this game too, I do want to show this video where it kind of had my outgoing personality, where things really started when I was starting to do all these videos.
Hey, remember last year when we played the New England Patriots up at Razor Stadium against that Tim Brady? I thought he had a thumb injury going on, but oh man, we were duped by those Patriots. I couldn't believe it. Well, we're back to being the brown bags of the league. Jacksonville Jaguars. Today is the AFC Title Game. The New England Patriots, we've been here 7 straight years. Everyone in New England looks forward to this day. You got lucky. You got lucky to even be here, to even be in our presence. So after today's game, we, the Patriots, we're going to the Super Bowl. You're going back to brown bagging it. You're going back to being the laughing stock of the league. You're going back to reality. All I know is Jacksonville, raise up your AFC finalist banner next year. It doesn't matter. It does not matter because the Patriots, we're not done. Let's go Patriots!
So now the stage is set. I'm heading down to Jacksonville. I love to go to this Patriots tailgate group on Facebook. They have it pretty much set. They tell you, hey, this fan club is running this event, on a Saturday night, maybe the night before. This is where all the Patriots fans are going to be. So whether that's Jacksonville, Detroit, Chicago. So all these different places have fan groups. So the Jacksonville fan group was having an event at Wild Wings Cafe. It's one of those things, too, in life that it's about who you know. And Silver Bullet has been a great mentor to me, someone that I've looked up to recently that has helped me out a lot this season. And he said, hey, you got to meet the owners of the Jacksonville Patriots fan club. They'll help you out when you get down there. So I walked in that night. It was the night before the game. I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Brian. I run this, Spike King account. I was hoping I could get the crowd wild and excited tonight. I want to get this crowd amped up. It's the first road game. We just won the home opener, so let's do it. So they said, hey, the stage is yours. Go right ahead. So it led right into this.
Patriots Nation, if you're ready to get that W and 2 North County tomorrow, give me an all year. Let's go Patriots. Patriots Nation, if you're ready to get that W and 2 North County tomorrow, give me an all year. Let's go Patriots.
Honestly, just being able to do that, to get on stage, to get people riled up, get people excited, that was just, right there was just such a good feeling. If you just watched the little podcast beforehand from last week, I was on stage with Kevin Carlson at the Sweet Feet event. Then all of a sudden, next week, I'm in Jacksonville on stage. And what's great is there's other things too at this event that I got to meet a lot of great people. Emily, someone I met on an airplane, she was coming out to visit her son, and he is I believe in the military, and she saved me a seat at that event. There was another group of women that I actually met at the hotel that loved me. They kept calling me Baby Gronk, and I got to party with them and drink with them during the night. So there's a lot of other stuff that goes on that it might not have pictures or videos of, but just again, the people that you meet. Steven, St. Stephen, man, I know he's probably listening, and I got to meet him as well. He drove all the way out here. There's people that follow me from all over the place that say, oh, I want to come out and meet you, and I can't wait to meet you, whatever. And this is the times to do it. So I was so happy. So that little Saturday kickoff event, it made it worthwhile. So moving on, we got to backtrack a little further back to the young Gronk days. Me and T-Gun's crushing it over here at AT&T Stadium at the NFL Draft. This is my second year doing the NFL Draft. The year before was in Philly. And next year is going to be in Nashville, so hopefully I can attend that as well. It'll be my third straight year. So after the NFL Draft, we went just for day one. We ran into this guy, Mike Perkins. And I mentioned him in the past, and he works for the Jaguars video technology, and he loved the Patriots thing I was doing. His father used to be the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. He has New England ties, so we got in contact back in April. And again, just someone that throughout the entire year, we have stayed in contact with each other and said, hey, and I told him, hey, I'm coming down to Jacksonville. And he said, let me know when you come down. This was actually, I believe, Saturday. So I already talked about the little story of the party. That was later in the night. So during the day before the party, I had a tour set up of the field. It was maybe like $10-15 on Ticketmaster, and I think the tour started at 2 o'clock. So I show up to the TIAA Bank Field, and I hit up Perkins, and I said, hey, buddy, like, I'm here. He actually said, oh, I'm working. Hey, I'll bring you inside the stadium. Let's talk and catch up. I'm going to admit right away, I did not take this picture. I took it off the internet for the purpose of the story. So I got in contact with Perkins, and he said, hey, I'll bring you right in. Got to meet the equipment manager. He brought me around inside the stadium, brought me to the field, got to be on the field. It stinks because I want to take pictures and stuff, but out of respect, he's doing something for me. I couldn't do any of this, so you just got to take my word for this. He brought me inside that locker room, and one thing I just want to mention to you is that, and I said this to him, Bortles' locker, and it's kind of in this picture off to the far, far, far left. He's by himself, and he has 2 empty lockers next to him, whereas Tom Brady is right in the middle of the locker room. He puts like Josh Gordon and Edelman next to him. He puts his receivers around him, and he's right in the middle. So I thought that was just kind of, and I said that. I just said it's just a little bit different to show the difference between the Jaguars and the Patriots organizations. So this is where the story's going to get pretty interesting. He's walking around the weight room facility, and we're going through like cardio area on the ellipticals, and Perkins stops me and goes, hey, you got to meet Doug. So I look over, and there's Doug Marone, head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, at the time, I didn't even know it was him. He just said, hey, I got you to meet Doug. So I look over, Doug's on the elliptical, and Perkins goes, hey, Doug, this is Brian. He's got this Patriots Super Bowl 53 tattoo. He's an absolute nutcase, big Patriots fan. And Doug's like, hey, how's it going? And I said, look it. Hey, Doug, man, it's hot as balls down here. It's just like I've been sweating nonstop. I said, I'm a little nervous for tomorrow. I think the heat's going to get to us. We're not used to this climate. I'm nervous because it's week 2. Both teams are healthy. I know you guys don't have Fournette. We don't have Edelman. So there's no excuses on either side. Like, I just said, I'm nervous. Doug goes, all you Patriot fans are the same. All you guys just do that whole speak of, like, being humble and, like, oh, like, we're not going to win. You know, this type of thing. We're busting balls. And I said back to him, you don't know who I am. Like, you don't know who I am. And I said, you know what? Fuck you. We're taking that W tomorrow. And I flipped him off, and I walked away. And we're all laughing. We get out of the room, and Perkins looks at me and goes, do you know who that was? And I'm like, yeah. And as we're walking through, I then realized that was Doug Marone, the head coach. And just for a little proof on top of that, I texted Perkins the next day, and he goes, did you flip the bird at our head coach yesterday after he was busting balls? And I really didn't know it was him. So Little extra motivation for the Jaguars that day. I don't know, but I literally flipped off the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars on Saturday. So it was finally here. It was game day on Sunday. Doing my little hype up video, and that guy in the background here was just being pretty funny. But before the game even started, we had a big tailgate at GTE Presents, and it was an awesome time. First off, I'm at the tailgate, and this guy was there, 4133, an Eagles fan. And this was at the time, too, where you're coming off the Super Bowl loss, and I have all these Eagles guys coming out still chirping at me. And just to be there and see that, I had to take a picture. I sent it a 4th and John just for a quick laugh, but I couldn't believe I saw this at the tailgate. But the number one thing at the tailgate was meeting Camille Kostek. That's Rob Gronkowski's girlfriend right there. So I had a couple minutes to talk with her. She was like the host of the event. And I just was discussing with her about the young Gronk days, how I'd move on to the Spike King. And she took the time to listen to me. She's like, oh, you kind of look like him. And I was rambling on like I'm doing right now. And I was talking about the tattoo. So I took off the jersey, took off the hat, and this happened. Maybe she probably will tell me to remove this photo, but she was dying laughing. And that is a woman that was dead of laughter. She saw it. She saw the head. She saw the eye black. She sees the Gronk. Gronk looking a little chubby right there, but she sees it all, and she's like, oh, my God, you look like one of Rob's brothers. So she actually pulls out her phone, and I don't know what she's doing. It looks like she was recording a video. I think she was doing a Snapchat, but she leans into her phone and goes, Rob, this guy looks like one of your brothers. So I've actually never met Gronk at all. And that little point, I was just, chirping, hey, Rob, what's up, man? Let's get the W today. Doing my whole shtick. But just the fact of meeting her, and maybe he saw the snap, maybe he didn't. I have no idea. But just that little moment right there, it was just awesome. Like, all right, like, that's cool. She's sending this to Gronk. Gronk's going to see this. But overall, the tailgate was an awesome time. All you can drink, all you can eat. Camille Kostek was a great host as well, too. So everything was just adding up. Everything was doing well. Got to go inside the stadium, got to do all that. Got to be at that big party the day before. Got to meet Camille. And I was ready to rock and roll. I was like, all right, let's head into the game. And as you could tell, the game did not go the way the Patriots wanted to. Look at my face in this video. This is at halftime, and I'm sweating like a pig. Thanks to Ice Black for one of the best eye black companies out there. Because even though I'm sweating, no smudges there. Nothing's dripping or running. I touched my eye a little bit on my left-hand side. But the Pats ended up losing the game. They got smoked. It was the heat. It was hot out there. I'm telling everybody, it was hot, humid, armpit of America. So end of the day, it's like, let Jacksonville have their Super Bowl. Saxonville, they were all excited. And it's part of the game. It's week 2. You know what I mean? Pats are now 1-1, and it sucks because you go down there, you have that fun time, you spend money to go down there as well too, and you want to see that win, and everyone around you is having a great time. And I just knew, I said, come up to Foxborough in January when real football's played, and we'll see what happens. And now look at the Jaguars right now in the season. They're not even going to make the playoffs this year. So it just goes to show you that times can really change throughout the season, but let them have their Super Bowl. And then makes matters worse, I have Mike Perkins text me just chirping, told you it was a funeral, told you the Patriots going to lose, and he was just chirping at me nonstop, so that didn't help either. So now it's Sunday night, the game's over, and I'm back in the hotel room. And, of course, every game day, I got to call my daddy, got to call GRD and tell him what's up. So week 3 was the Pats at Detroit. And I already had a flight booked. And I told GRD, I'm not going to go. I wasn't going to do that. But, man, I was laying in bed and I was seething. I was upset. I was saying, what the hell? I didn't go to week 1. And then I come all the way down here for a loss. And I have the tattoo on top of this. And you already know people are chirping. They're in the DMs. They're calling me the jinx. They're saying their things. And I'm just sitting there seething in bed. And I said to GRD, you know what? I'll see you in Detroit.